Do you want to take this and do this? Then join me, Irvin, Parish Program Coordinator for the Great Ascension Trash Bash, held on March 26th through the 31st. There will be a Trash Bash Award ceremony on Saturday the 31st at 11 a.m. at the Ascension Chamber of Commerce in Gonzales. There'll be food, prizes, and fun for the whole family. Bring the kids, bring your family, bring your friends. But most of all, bring your love for this parish. That's the Great Ascension Parish Trash Bash. Let's clean it up together.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I bring the Transportation Committee meeting of March the 13th, 2007 to order. We have all members present, and we will now give honor to our God and say the pledge. Father God, we come before you tonight and we give you thanksgiving. We thank you for the many blessings that we have as Ascension Parish residents and as people who reside in the United States of America. We are confident and secure in the fact that our many soldiers are abroad fighting and keeping us in liberty, Father. We thank you for every volunteer that is in this parish to serve the people of this great parish. Father, as always, we want to give you thanks for all of these things, but we also want to ask you tonight that you give us the wisdom and the courage and the direction that we need to go in as a body. I ask you to bless each of the gentlemen to my right and left, Father, with wisdom. And I thank you as always in the precious name of Jesus. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, our first item on the agenda, we do have a public comment period. If there's anybody in the audience wishing to speak on an agenda item, they may sign up with the secretary and they are free to do so at the agenda item. Item number 4 is the update on the parish and state road projects, and this is always done by URS representative Mr. Kent Israel. Welcome, Kent.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I handed out the monthly project status update for those projects that are under either design or construction in Ascension Parish. Westworthy Road, the fee for preparation of the right-of-way maps and the redesign has been approved by the council. GSA should be working on that and giving us some right-of-way maps shortly. Let's see, on the 2005 road widening project, the contractor is about 70% complete. He's working on Lake Park, Lake Ridge, the streets in Lake Park, Lake Ridge subdivision, also working on Betty Street. On the 2004 intersection improvement projects, on Phase 2A, which is Swamp Road at Airline, Duplessis Road at 73, and Bayou Narcisse at 431. We're going to have the one-year warranty inspection next Wednesday on the 21st. On Phase 2B, we're waiting on council approval for the revised fees for traffic analysis. Preliminary approval from the Department of Transportation is waiting on this till we get the final traffic analysis from the consultant that is a sub to GSA, and we need to have this fee approved before they will turn loose of their analysis. LA 73, LA 621 interchange with I-10. Advanced check prints have been submitted to LA DOTD for review. They were reviewed, resent to the consultants, KLL, for further work, and they should be getting them back sometimes in the next month or so. That project is now scheduled, I believe, for December 2007. On the 2006 roadway construction program, the preliminary engineering is complete. Final plans are about 75%. DPW will be submitting them to URS for review in the next couple of weeks. As far as state projects, I talked to the district construction engineer, Mr. Tom Landry, about Airline Highway this afternoon. He said hopefully in the next couple of weeks the night temperatures will get to such a point that the contractor can start laying asphalt again. And they can only close lanes, one lane at a time at night, so they have to do this repaving of the last lift at night. So it's going to be a couple of weeks they should start again. On LA 44, which earlier or last month had told y'all bids had been taken on it. The contractor is F.G. Sullivan, and the same contractor that's doing the work on Highway 70 and 22 and 31, 25 and 70, and he said that they will try to finish those two intersection improvement projects before starting to work on LA 44. So they might be middle of the summer or so before they start working on 44. Any other questions, or any questions that y'all may have I can answer?
Mr. Savoy.
Yeah, I do, Kent.
Yes, sir.
Let's go back, and I don't know what you're calling it, if it's 205 or the one that Bert Klein-Peter's doing.
Yeah,
Let's go
205
back
roadway construction.
Where are we on this project in terms of just how many more roads do they have to finish this project?
I cannot give you the number of roads. They're about 70% complete with it.
Let me do this. We got 5 council members up
Yeah.
there. Would y'all please look at this list, or y'all don't have a list to see what roads have been done in your
I
district?
do have, we do have that. You may have that in your packet right here. Unless there's something that Ed, I just gave you something, not in your packet, I just put it on top, Kent. right
Oh, okay.
here.
Neither one of them?
See if the proposed 205 is in there, it should be.
Gosman's done?
Yeah. Yes, preliminary well for mine.
Okay.
Church Point ain't done.
Mr. Shea Snyder, you've got Rose Road in your district.
Right.
That's been done?
Yes.
Mr. Dempsey Lambert, you've got Greenfield Crossing. Has that been done?
Yeah,
That's
Greenfield,
done?
Glen Williams, and Manchac Point have been completed.
All 3 of yours have been done. Ms. Fontenot, a Brown Road extension?
Brown Road Extension is not in mine that I know of.
It's been done, though.
That's in 7.
That's done?
Yes.
Okay. How about John Broussard? Do we know if John Broussard's been done?
Yes.
Okay. How about
Fife Lane, I'm not sure. The last I had talked to one of my constituents, it was
What the,
gravel.
I don't have the
middle
list.
of it.
how about Southwood Village? Do you know?
Southwood Village with
Swamp
some
Road?
patching. Swamp Road, I think, has been
Swamp has been
complete
done.
and striped, right?
Yes.
Southwood Village with some patching, I think. There was some areas that wasn't in, and I'm not familiar if they have completed that yet.
I'm passing down 431. I see the equipment at Lake Park, so they're catching that right now.
Yes, they're working in there right now. They were there most of last week, and would have worked there this week, except we've had rain for 2 days now. So.
Have they given you any indication lately as far as their completion date?
They're looking for completion by the end of March.
End of March? Okay, let's go to the next one. All right, because I tried getting all these roads together, the one, the list that was on DKI's and the one that we're trying to do in-house so that we can work on the 2007 list, and it was rather confusing. There's a list here that we're doing in-house. I talked to Bill today, and he said that the engineering should be finished within 2 weeks, and we
Yes.
should be ready to go out for bids
in 2 to 3 weeks for the in-house project that we're looking at?
It's going to be, well, probably a little longer than that, but should be fairly soon.
Okay, all right. Okay. So far as the 2006 crack seal project, do you know anything about that?
No, I don't. That's
Because the
something
council-
that's something Mr. Rue had been working on at DPW.
And we have no one here from administration?
No. No, sir.
I'm getting calls on that one also.
Okay. All right. We need an update on what we're doing with this crack seal, because I think Mr. B.J. Lambert is working on some of these, but have no clue where we're at.
Well, I will get you by Thursday night. I can get you an update on the crack and seal program.
Good.
And I'll try to get an update on the 2005 status of all the projects by Thursday night.
Okay.
Do you want to do that at the council meeting, or do you?
No, I don't want to do that.
We want to put
I don't
that
want
on
to
the
do it at the
next
council meeting.
council agenda,
Yes,
the transportation
Chairman.
agenda.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah,
want-
no, but I will give you, by Thursday night, I will be able to pass out that sheet that shows the status
okay.
of all the 2005 projects.
That would be
okay.
great. That would be
That was
great.
just for y'all's information.
Kent, I had called you. I think I'd spoken to you about it, and I also talked to Henry Picard about he was supposed to have for tonight a program timeline. He was supposed to update the program timeline. I've gotten one or two from him in the past, and I asked him to get, and he was supposed to have that for tonight. Mr. Picard said he'd have that for tonight.
He didn't.
And he didn't get
tell me anything about it. I talked to him earlier.
Project to see what's been taking so long, what the timeline.
Well, we
has been,
are.
and why aren't we behind schedule?
Oh yeah, yes, we're behind schedule.
And
Or the
that was-
let's see, the contractor is behind schedule. He has been asked to submit a explanation and or a request for a time extension. He has not done this at this point in time yet. We're waiting on R.J. Daigle to submit a request for a time extension. And at that point, we will review it and make a recommendation as to how many days we think he deserves, and then we'll submit a plan change for that. If there are not enough days to cover his time, then liquidated damages will be charged for the extra days that he takes.
Then we need to put that back on the agenda for next month, and we need that timeline, and we also need to know where things slip through the cracks. I mean, did something happen at the engineering end that pushed the contractor back? I mean, we just need
There
to
were a
know
lot of, part of it was weather conditions in the month of December, month of January. Some of it was field conditions. We ran into a lot more floor light than we expected. And there are some circumstances, yes,
And
that
that's what
will
we
be
really wanted.
evaluated
Right.
as part of this time extension request.
And that's what we want. We want to get the timeline so we know all the facts and have all the facts as to what's going on.
You will.
Mr. Shakespeare.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I would like to request by a motion, a resolution from the council that we request in writing a detailed description of what happened throughout this
You
program.
will get that as
and I
part
want
of
it
the plan change.
documented from all parties involved.
Yes, you will get that as part of the plan change for a time extension, if one is granted to him.
Well, we want that regardless.
Yes,
Next
okay.
meeting we have, I want it in writing.
Then I have a motion and a second to have that. Any objections? Then have that, get that information to the proper people, that they have the right information for us for the next time.
Okay.
You know, maybe Mr. Picard can come himself. I thought he was going to be here tonight. I thought that's what he told me.
No.
Okay. Mr. Savoy has something else?
Yes, ma'am. Kent, I see you have on here, as far as the updates on the road widening projects and the intersection improvements. We had intersection improvements on the previous council, and we deferred action.
Yes, that will be brought up at the council meeting Thursday night. It's on the agenda for the council meeting Thursday night.
Well,
And y'all's council package has a packet of information on the extra funds for, I believe it's two intersection improvements.
Excuse me, but I think the problem was the council chairman said he wanted discussion to take place here and not, you know, in the council meeting. And Mr. Savoy did express some desire. Cinnamon, I thought we were putting that back on the agenda. Is that on the agenda somewhere here? I don't see it. But that was supposed to be put back on the agenda. So would you guys like to amend the agenda to place that on so we can discuss it?
it's either that or take it up under update.
Do we have any information on it?
I do. I'm ready to
You have
move.
it? Okay.
That's
Go ahead,
why.
let's move on it. Let's update.
I've got my information on it also. I mean, so
So we'll just talk about it right here on the update?
That's fine.
Is that good with,
If that's
with you
legal, I
guys?
think that's legal. I can't think so. I went back and I reviewed what has been done to this to date. With, hang on, let me get that particular paperwork out. The last time you were looking for a decision on phase 2B.
yes.
Okay, that's 621 at 61.
Yes, 621 at 61.
That's Black
Bayou Road
Black Bayou and Black Bayou Extension
at 44. And
at 44, and Ascension 929 at 61.
Correct.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion that we move forward with GSA, moving forward with completion of these phase 2B.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion to...
With the additional engineering cost. That's what you're looking for, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have a project number on that one?
26029.
You have that information, Mr. Israel?
Yeah, I have it here. That's 2B. That cost is $13,099 for that portion of it.
Right. Okay.
Yes, any objections to this motion that we...
What? May I ask a question? What about the rest?
I'm gonna get them.
We're going to
Okay,
get to that.
you're gonna do it
We make
part
the
at a time.
motion
Okay.
to do phase 2B, project number 26029 for $13,999, did you say?
That's what that one.
Dollars. We're making a motion to approve that.
Okay.
And there are no objections, so that can go to the full council. Next meeting.
You also had on phase 3, which was the Plessers Road at US 61 and Causey at Merritt Evans and Merritt Evans at Highway 44
Yes.
at an additional engineering cost of $8,836.
Correct. And that should actually be phase 2C instead of the nomenclature is, we've checked, going back, they've resubmitted that, and it should be 2C, because that was all part of the original phase 2.
Okay. All right. And you ready for a motion for that? Motion, I'll offer that as a motion.
Second.
To move forward with.
We have a motion by Councilman Dempsey Lambert and a second by Councilman Schicksnyder to move forward on phase 3.
Well, it's phase 2C.
2C.
Phase 2C,
C.
project number 26031.
Okay.
And there are no objections, are they? And we can place it on the next council agenda.
All right, Mr. Kent, I have phase 4. Now, I don't know what you
It
want to call
should be,
it.
that should be phase 3. should be Phase 3.
All right, this particular one is intersection improvement at Roddy Road and 61. With
Correct.
Either the City of Gonzales or the state done improvements on the other side. That's on this side. Previously, preliminary plans for improvements were prepared for Roddy Road. No lane modifications was originally proposed for this project. This is a new project. No monies have been spent on this project. I'm going to make a motion that we give this turn lane improvements to PEC and move forward with it.
I believe the intersection analysis for that has been done. The first portion of the $3,900 has been done, or put it this way, GSA has had, while they were doing the intersection analysis of the other intersections, they did the gathering of traffic data and did this analysis already. Now,
But did we not say at the previous meeting that the analysis that was done in the past is no longer any good because the state done amended their requirements and criteria?
But this analysis, the information was at this intersection was gathered when they were doing the ones for 2B and 2C in the last summer.
Did they have approval to do this particular one?
No. I don't have any information on that, but
There's no prior motion for anything
to authorize
to be
it.
done on an intersection improvement at Roddy Road and 61.
No, not that I can find yet. Now maybe
Right, but
Mr.
you're
Shaheen
saying
can.
that the analysis has been done by who? By Urban Systems?
Yes, that's part of when they were doing the other. They mobilized to do the other intersections. They did this one also.
How old is that?
It was done last summer. So I mean, in the fall. So it's still current. It's good information. They're waiting to get this approved so that they can submit it to the department.
Can we get that? If we paid for it, can we
Yeah.
get it? Okay,
Yes.
my motion stands.
Yeah.
Mr. Shakespeare.
Can we get, since we have no one here from administration, would it be, I would like to have Glenn come up here and give us some background on this situation. Might enlighten us as to what's...
It comes at a cost of $20,901.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I want to see how did we... You mind, Glenn?
I appreciate the opportunity to explain this to you. The Roddy Road issue, of course, has been around since Roddy Road and the various other road widening projects have been around. And in light of the improvements that the state made on 939, which is the south side of which is Parish Road, in the Parish Road where it ties into US 61, this issue came to light. If you've ever been in that intersection, you'll notice that the lanes are offset, and when you're standing there wanting to turn left, if you're on Parish wanting to turn left onto Airline Highway to go north, you're actually face to face with a car coming in that right lane through the intersection, wanting to go south on Parish. And Ken is correct. I do not have, or GSA does not have, we have a contract for some of these intersections. Roddy Road was part of the original Roddy Road widening project. In discussing it with Bill back in the summer, we were looking at all of these other intersections. We discussed with Bill the possibility of looking at Roddy Road and including it in the intersection analysis that were going to be required by LDOTD for them to permit the other intersection projects. Bill did, in fact, concur and allow us to do that, and we're able to get some economy of scales by the traffic consultant to do that analysis. We also discussed with Bill at that time, based on that traffic analysis, is actually proceeding with plans, preparation of preliminary plans for improving that intersection. And that's how we got to this point. We've been dealing with this probably since actually Urban Systems did the traffic analysis. It wasn't done in July. They actually did the state mandated that the traffic study be conducted during school hours. They don't allow you to do the traffic counts during the summer months. They want to make sure that you've got school traffic and so forth. So the actual traffic analysis was done, I think, in September 28th or 29th of 2006. So that's how we got to this point. And the proposal that you see in front of you was a proposal that we put together in our discussions with Bill. Some of this work has been done in an effort to continue moving the project forward. And I appreciate Kent's explanation to you tonight, trying to get your authorization to proceed with it. So that's an explanation. If you got any other questions, I'll be happy to try to answer them.
Can we get a second for the motion? Because I would like to make a motion that because of the tacit approval of
We do not have a second at this time. Mr. Savoy still has some questions.
Well, no, the motion's on the table. If I don't get a second.
Do we have a second?
I second it for some questions also. I have a question.
We do have a second.
Okay, well...
Do you have some questions? Mr. Lambert has some questions. You said you want to make another motion. Let's finish with this motion.
That's fine.
Glenn, you say you have started some work on this. What work have we started other than the
Well, we've had some meetings with Todd with DOTD. We've had 2 meetings with Mr. Dwight Fox and Ronnie Carter with the Traffic and Planning Division with DOTD. There's been some information that we've had to provide to them in an effort to get them to agree on a preliminary basis of what they're going to require us to do, or what they were going to require us to do in order to prepare this proposal. So. And some of that work has been done. We've completed the traffic and the intersection analysis, which is a requirement of DOTD, and we've also completed some of the developing some of the preliminary details in order to meet with them to make sure that we had a scope of work that would satisfy DOTD's requirements in an effort to get this project permitted.
So you have some legwork and hours put in on the second part of this project.
That's correct. And we have, like I said, we have fairly significant amount of knowledge of this intersection, and I think based on that, I mean, I think that's my recommendation to this board would be to allow us to proceed.
Did you not say that this was one that we did not approve yet? It is not an approved intersection. How can we do work on something we haven't approved?
It was part. Madam Chairman, it was part of the original Roddy Road widening project. That project got broken into 2 segments. One from, I guess, US 61, and I don't remember exactly where it went to, and then the other segment was from maybe 931. I don't know. I don't recall how the project got broken up into 2 segments. And this intersection, in the original scope of work, there were no... Understand now, the original scope of work for Roddy Road, and I can appreciate Councilman Savoy's comment at one of the previous meetings where he indicated that some of these projects have been going on for so long, and they have been. And this work was done, original work on Roddy Road was done in 2001. It was redesigned a couple of times, and then, of course, since over the last couple of years, traffic and congestion has been a major factor here in Ascension Parish, and then the improvements that were made by the state at that Parish Road side of this interchange prompted the parish, in particular Bill, to want to look at this intersection and accelerate the improvements at that intersection for those reasons.
No, and the thing that's driving me to give this one to another firm is because, the council did pass back in March of '03 to move forward 9 intersections, and we've only got 3 completed to date. This is a new one. This is in addition to the 9 that we started with. in an effort to try to get some of these projects going. That's the motive of me trying to give it to somebody else. Again, no lane modifications were originally proposed for this project. This thought came on after the improvements to the other side of the 61 came up at some point in time. No monies had been spent on that one because it's a new one, whereas the rest of them, all you're doing is additional engineering fees. The work, you know, those was identified and named back when. This is a new one. I spoke to Ms. Gwen LeBlanc as far as how much money was spent, how much did the parish put any money out on this particular project, and she said no. So it tells it's a new project. That's why I was trying to pull this one out and give it to somebody else.
Well, that statement, Ms. Savoy, is not, you have spent money on Roddy Road.
I'm well aware of Roddy Road. I'm talking about the intersection improvement, which is different. It's a different work order number. It's a different project number.
Right.
Than Roddy Road. And that's all I got.
Councilman Chickspanner.
Thank you. And I appreciate Mr. Savoy. I understand where you're trying to head. We're trying to be more efficient. Excuse me, and get these projects done in a timely manner. And I agree with you 100%. Problem I have is that it's also fairly obvious that since 2001, the parish, the council, administration has waffled back and forth with this project. It's been a political football and everything, and to the point that it's taken us a long period of time. Obviously, there's been some tacit approval by administration with someone that has been working for us and doing these projects, yourself in this particular incident, to move forward in order to save the parish some money by doing things at a certain time frame. I would feel a lot more comfortable that would be brought. One of the problems that we've had as a council is those things wasn't brought to us. Sure. At that point in time, it should have been brought to the Transportation Committee and the full council. And I feel it upsets us as a council that administration is not bringing us this information that we can act on it in a timely manner. I agree with you 100%. It should be pursued. It should have been pursued at that time. Right. But we should be brought into that because we end up making this decision about whether the parish is going to spend money on this or not. However, knowing the situation we've gone through with administration and DPW in the last 6 months, I do not feel like it's right for us to put a vendor in the middle of this political football that we're having, and that it's a very awkward situation because we do ask from time to time from some information from different vendors that we have. And so I want the ability of administration in the future to be able to get some information and to be able to do so and move forward and then inform us and have us approve these things within the correct time frame. Because we're making obviously wholesale changes in DPW, you know, I think we can direct this in the future as a sign that we're not going to be allowing these type of things to go on without our approval. But I think things were done in the past a certain way, and I don't feel like a vendor should be held hostage on these situations. Therefore, I would like to make a substitute motion that we move forward with GSA continuing along the lines that they've already started and finish this process. I think a lot of time and many months have been put into this, and it would, in effect, do exactly what Mr. Savoy was saying, is shorten the time up and we just continue this project. So I'd like to see it continued by them.
I have a motion on the floor to continue with the project by Mr. Shakes none. Do I have a second?
I'll second that, Mr. Chairman.
Councilman Savoy.
One correction, Mr. Shakes. Now, you mentioned since 2001, the council approved these projects March of 03, not 01.
well,
Okay,
I stand corrected.
that's all I got.
Before we vote, I just wanted to state that, you know, part of the reason why you look to give another project out, I mean, we're already behind on these turn lanes. You know, our people are suffering out there. They can't get, you know, to and from work. We've indicated that turn lanes can help speed the traffic up. And so I agree with Councilman Savoy that by giving it to someone else, we've already got one project with 2 turn lane projects going, you know, and the process has already been slow. So if we could move ahead on another project and maybe have them done simultaneously, our people would you know, fare better about it. And that's my comments. We'll now take a vote. We have a motion and a second to proceed with the project. Any objections? Object. The motion passes, and you will put that on the council agenda. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, Mr. Israel, is that all to your report?
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, I need...
You needed to ask him something about something? Okay, Mr. Lambert has something for you. Mr. Dempsey Lambert.
Yes, sir.
I would like to get Joe Saverio Road let out for bid next month. First phase of Joe Saverio Road ready for bid.
We will proceed as quickly as we can. It cannot be done. You've got advertisement period, an advertisement time. It's got to be approved by the council for advertisement, and we have to finish preparing the proposal. It cannot be done in April. Now, we can try for May or early June. That's about as quick as we can possibly get it done.
You have on here utility relocation 75%. That should be 100%. I don't know what the final plans are. It's 95%, but you know, it's time to move on this road widening project, and wherever it's being held up, I need to know.
We will make every effort possible to get it, let the contract as soon as possible.
Let's have it on the next agenda.
Yes, we will give you an agenda and a timeline at the next Transportation Committee.
Anybody else have any questions of Mr. Israel? Thank you, Ken. Okay, number 5 is update on grass cutting, spraying on roadside ditches. Anybody from administration to deal with this one? Once again, we'll have to pass. We have nobody here from administration to update us on the grass cutting and the spraying of roadside ditches. Item number 6, street signs and weight limits. We have 3 items to be addressed. Is there anybody from administration to address these? There is no one from administration to address these. I have a few things that I can bring out to you guys from emails. Let's see. The first one is Jim Babin Road. Jim Babin Road was a complaint. The complaint is about trying to widen the Parish Street, and she doesn't want it widened. And I think Mr. Roos said that that this area was not planned on being widening, but that we could put weight limits. And that's what she's requesting, that we put some weight limits so that she can have the. So, is that something that we can move on?
Yes, move to request weight limits be imposed on Jim Babin Road.
We have a motion by Kent Shakes-Nana and a second by Dempsey Lambert to put weight limits on Jim Babin Road. We have a question by Todd Lambert.
Yeah, Madam Chairman, this particular highway has a industrial site on it. I don't know if y'all are aware of it. Jim Babin Road is American Industrial. So I'm sure there's some traffic, trucks and stuff that goes to that site. So in doing so, we may shut down this.
Mr. Chair.
Well, that's a good point, but
I just want to disappoint of it. You know,
it's a good point, but I think it's on the other end.
I think there's
it's on the front, right at the beginning.
Right. I think there was some other ways. Let's see.
Then I would like to amend my motion to approve it as from the point of the industrial facility to the back, beyond that, so that the trucks can easily go to Highway 74, which is fine. That's the intent. But to protect the residences in the back, that we don't have heavy traffic.
This is off of Gold Place, actually.
This is off of Gold Plate.
Well, I'm sorry. Yes.
The complaint by the resident that's making the complaint to DPW is she said that she had heard that the parish was trying to use was trying to widen the Jim Babin Road for the purpose of getting 18-wheeled trucks into his facility. She says there is a street that is capable of accepting the vehicles now. Beco Road is very wide for turning from Gold Place Road, and Dora Street, which heads straight into the facility. And it does not have large ditches to cause any problem with turning. So that was her concern.
I think we need to let DPW look at it, you know.
Well, my response from Bill was that he says, let's see. He says, thanks for the. Let me see if I can find it where the council can place any limits on any parish road. DPW does not have plans, nor do I recommend widening the road. So Bill is telling me here that it was okay to put weight limits. And he also told me at the same time, so we may need a motion for this, he says, yes, when I asked him, thanks for the quick response, I do appreciate you. How do you recommend we handle this? Should we put this on the transportation agenda? And he says, yes. He says, recommend doing the same as the last restricted roads. I think Cinema and I have asked you to research that and get the, what was done on the last roads. Weight limits other than local non-commercial deliveries. We need to do the same for Dutton Road due to the concrete plant. So Bill is also recommending that we put weight limits on Dutton Road.
Well, that's not on the agenda.
Right. It didn't get on the agenda, but I had.
We can recommend it pending approval of DPW, because they can investigate Councilman Lambert's concerns about the industrial, and there may be a way to do that properly. Mm-hmm. And
I'll go with that.
Is that okay with you,
let's do that pending approval of DPW.
Yeah, let me shed a little light on this too. Jim Babin intersects with Gold Place Road. There is an industrial site back there that's been back there for 20-some-odd years. Whenever 18-wheelers come in off of Gold Place and turn on to Jim Babin, they have a tendency to go off into the ditch. The residents right there at the corner are concerned about them going off into their, I believe one time they've even gone onto their property. So far as widening Jim Babin, there's no discussion as far as widening Jim Babin. There was discussion as far as possibly putting culverts in the ditch to try to help. So far as there being another entrance, yeah, there is, but you can get the same complaints from the other entrance. So that's, the thought of using another entrance is not the answer either, because you'll just move your problem from one intersection to the other intersection. But that's what's happening right there.
So what did the recommendation?
My recommendation is looking to put a weight limit pending approval of DPW, and any other recommendations that they would have, they can bring it to us for further action. But we would go as far as the weight limit.
We have a motion and a second by Dempsey Lambert. Any objections to that? The motion is to get DPW to investigate putting weight limit signs there, or if they have other recommendations, to come back to the council with that. Any objections? There are no objections. Okay, the next item is a stop sign on Ridgewood and Duplessis Road. I really don't, this information was sent a couple of times to DPW. It actually should have been addressed at the last transportation meeting, and it was not addressed then. Mr. Mike Anderson has come back for a second time to my residence asking me to do this. He says that there's a Duplessis Road is a very narrow road. There's two or three new subdivisions coming on that road now, and it's just very substandard. And he said when they get to his house, there's a curve there, and he said he knows that there's going to be accidents there. He would request that we put a three-way stop sign there, which would break up the speed of the people coming through. And we don't have anybody here from DPW to even address if they had investigated it or anything. So we'll probably have to pass on that, Mr. Shakespeare.
Well, usually our policy in the past has been to get the residences to sign on a petition so that we don't just have one resident input. And we act upon that, and DPW investigates and see the speed, the actual speed of that. So I think we should probably, I would like to make a motion that we go through the process of investigation.
I know that they've done that type of thing in subdivisions, but this is not a subdivision.
It would be in that road area because...
Well, okay. So we'll just pass on
you
this.
may have one person, I mean, I don't know the situation. You may have one person that wants it and 15 of them that don't. So we need to find out.
Well, it was sent anyway. It was sent a couple of times to DPW for them to do just that, for them to get with Mr. Anderson, for them to investigate it. It is on the agenda, and no one's here to address it, so we'll pass on it.
We formally request again that they investigate this in the proper manner.
Correct. Would you see they get that message? Item number C, no parking signs on George Duplessis Road. This is something that Councilman Barraga had asked and requested, that we would put no parking signs on George Duplessis Road. Here again, unless somebody from DPW can address it, we'll have to pass on it. So we will pass on it. The next item is item number 7. It's e-tail facilities move for AC Road reconstruction. I think, Mr. Israel, you said you could address that one for us.
Yes, ma'am. Item number 7 is an agreement as proposed by East Ascension Telephone Company for the relocation of their lines along AC Road, which is the reconstruction of AC Road is part of the 2005 roadway reconstruction program.
So moved, Madam Chairman, to let e-tail. I think it's 20.
No, well, Ascension Parish's share is 71%, which is $20,888.42.
I motion that we move forward with.
Second.
I have a motion to move forward with the e-tail facilities move cost.
Correct.
And a second by Mr. Shakespeare. Any objections? There are no objections.
Madam Chairman, can this be put on the council agenda for Thursday night as a 2/3 item?
If it's an emergency.
Well, we need to have it approved so that e-tail can move their line so that our contractor can go to work on it on AC as soon as possible, because we need.
Mr. Sabo.
I see they got enough roads left on this list where they can go somewhere else. And this is my district, and I'd like to have it done now, but I'm willing to put off. It's not an emergency. It should have been called a long time ago.
Okay. Thank you.
Catch it on the next calendar.
Thank you, Mr. Savoy. Next item is item number 8, Miller Road widening and improvement. This one is an item that Fire Chief Mark Stewart is asking about. Mark, did you want to address the council about it? We have no one from DPW to elaborate.
I'll tell you my viewpoint on it. Thanks for letting me come and putting it on the agenda. I really didn't know how we needed to get started in approaching this, but as y'all are well aware, over the last couple of council meetings, Prairieville Fire Department, Inc. donated a parcel of land there at the corner of 73 and Miller Road where we're currently housed. And monies and funds were approved. We've got the agreement signed with the architects and the parish to start design work on a new fire station, administrative offices there. Where this new building, station, and administrative office is going to go is out closer towards Miller Road and the actual corner of Miller and 73. As things are proposed now, it's very early on, but it appears the way the station will have to be laid out in that parcel of land. Our primary exit point out of the bays and the engine room will be onto Miller Road and then out to 73. It's the way the land is divided up and the way it lays out, and kind of an early scope of how we'd like to see the station designed. That's going to be the way it is. And of course, Ms. Fontenot, I know that's part of your area, and as you know, as you're talking about Duplessis, Miller is certainly a very narrow, I won't say substandard, but it's a little subdivision road, but we do use it sometimes right now with our fire apparatus as we leave the current station, and really two normal size, two big pickups. It makes you feel you have to kind of run off the edge of the road. There is a drainage canal that runs under it right up at the front part, but ideally we'd like to see it widen, because these apparatus we're talking about, 39, 40 foot in length, they don't turn on a dime. And as we exit out onto that road, it's just not very wide at all. And we'd like to, I don't know from what part, maybe from Goodwood out to 73, see it widened and substantiated for the weight of these apparatus that's going to be traveling on it.
Councilman Chester.
I'll offer a motion for a resolution by the council that we hand to DPW to investigate this and give us recommendations as to what should be done to accommodate the fire department traffic.
We also want to add to that, if you don't mind, that they check the whole road out, because I've been getting some. We're fixing to do a road project list, but Miller Road has some serious problems on it right now. I think there's some areas that are fixing to cave in. That they've got some serious problems on it. So it's a very short road, but if they're going to go in there to investigate the turn lane, the widening for the turn lane, then they need to complete the whole road.
They can make their recommendation.
Right. So include a widening to Goodwood, because I don't think we want to go further than that. The residents, they want to keep it
I think they like
kind of residential.
And we're going to kind of do away, right now we have a private asphalt drive in the middle of our property, and the way the new station, that's going to be done away with, and a lot of the residents on Goodwood use that. So if we can make the upper part of Miller a little more appeasing to them, maybe they won't be too mad at us. But it's just the way the station's going to have to go. That little road in the middle of our property will be done away with. It'll no longer be a through street.
Right. So we want to make sure that they continue on analyzing the whole road so that they can do it as one project.
Do y'all also know, Ms. Fontenot, where, I guess the state project, I guess it would be on 73, where that is and widening, and we know we're going to be impacted a little bit by that as well, and we'd like to maybe if y'all have the information, or we could get with the state engineers or whatever and see how that's going to impact that little piece of property. And
we haven't had an update recently on that. Can you add that to your so that we can see where that project is in the pipeline? Any objections to this motion?
Well, and just one more thing. I want to make sure that it's transferred that time is of the essence for the fire department part of it. And if, we have right-of-way acquisition and things of that sort, maybe as we go further back. So
no, we're not going to widen the whole road.
Okay, but I just want to make sure that
we definitely don't want to widen the whole road. No,
that we're not waiting for something else.
No, we just the rest of the road is in dire need of repair, and so we'll do it all at the same time if that's possible.
Very well.
Okay, there's no objection, so you can put that on or get that to DPW and have them bring us back a report and have this on the next transportation agenda to discuss. Okay, item number 9, the 2007 road list. Councilman Savoy.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Gentlemen, Ms. Fontenot, we have always tried to keep a road project going. Before before one finishes, you got the next one coming right behind. As you know, the Burke Peter project, looking at the roads that's left, they should be finishing up in maybe four to 6 weeks, something like that. All right, so that project will be finished. Then you got DPW, the in-house one that's going to be, the surveying will be completed in 2 weeks, and then it'll be ready to go out for bids. This project should be finished, I think Bill's saying it'll be finished before the end of the year. If we want to continue without a lapse, it's really time to come up with the, I'm going to call it 2007 road project. Bill said he's wanting to use some other avenue so we won't get so confused. But I have heard no talk about that list being compiled. So I'm taking the initiative to try to get this list up. In doing so, back in 2004, everybody submitted a list of roads in your district that you felt needed some attention. Off of that list that was turned in by the council, DPW went back and prioritized the roads. We tried to come up with a 2007 road list in conjunction with the list that was compiled back in 2004 and prioritized. Also have a list of roads that's not in any project at all left. I see I got 4 extra council members here. Y'all need to get a copy before y'all leave so y'all can look at them. Okay? I was really hoping to have this list in a format where we could have moved on it, but I really don't, because this seal crack project that we approved in December of 2006, I'm almost certain that Mr. Lambert, B.J. Lambert, is working on some of these roads that I don't know. So it's hard to come up with a list right now. You need to get a list of these roads and submit this to the chairman.
That's correct.
Okay, as soon as you can, so we can get this 2007 road project rolling. That's all I have, Mr. Fontenot, on that. I was really hoping we could have gotten a lot further along, but we can't.
Madam Chairman,
Mr. Lambert.
are you going to take the information that we gave in, because I have 3
Yes.
of them on here that's not on this list.
Right. I'm going to take what you give
Just email her
me.
with the list.
Want to email
It's
you?
going to be updated, and so anybody that does, and I think Mr. Joseph and Mr. Hillensbeck and Mr. Lambert have given me their list already. Mr. Valentine has given me 1 or 2. I think he's going to complete his list. So if we can get the rest of the council to make sure that they get the list. Cinnamon, I have sent 2 emails out to them, and I've gotten some responses, some I haven't gotten any response from. I would ask that you send them an email also from your standpoint, asking for this list to be turned into to either yourself or to myself, and if you get any, then you can just forward them to me. And if they don't get if they don't give us a list, they're not going to make the list, because we're going to work on the list. Mr. Savoy and I are working on a list to try to get something going, and if we don't have all the roads, we're going to go with what we have. So I want to make sure that everybody's aware of that. Thank you. Item number 11, subdivision inspectors to work under engineering.
Skip number 10 first.
Well, 10, I forgot 10. Traffic engineer update. Anyone here to give a traffic engineer update? Once again, we're going to have to pass because we don't have anybody to address this item. Item number 11, subdivision inspectors to work under engineer. This item was placed on my agenda. It has no Most of these don't have any sponsors,
We'll pass, Mr. Chairman.
and so we're going to pass on that one. Item number 12, road warranty increasing specs. This was placed on this agenda by someone other than myself. Anybody here sponsoring this item? No one from DPW?
We had a recommendation from strategic planning to look at increasing the specification for subdivision, but we did not get the final report back, so we're still waiting to get all of that information back.
So you want to put this back on the
Yes,
next?
put it on the next
and
agenda.
you're going to author this? You're going to bring
Yeah, we're waiting on
the information?
DPW, yeah.
Okay, put road warranty increasing specs on the next council transportation agenda under Mr. Kent Scheck-Snyder. Item number 13 is speed bumps.
We was waiting on some legal action on
Right.
that, and I think DPW. I don't think we have anybody here representing.
So we're going to pass on that item.
To pass on it.
Old business, new business. I do have something under new business. We'll take new business first. I'm putting out some guidelines. You should all have these in your packet for the transportation agenda. We've been having some problems with communication and other things, and I just thought that it was good to set some rules and regulations out. So item number 1, all items must be placed on the transportation agenda by noon on Friday before the transportation meeting. Any 2/3 item must be brought to the chairwoman's attention by 3 p.m. the day of the meeting, or it will not be considered, no exceptions. If you don't know that there's an item that needs to be addressed by 3 o'clock on the day of the meeting, you're not going to get heard. Item number 3, all change orders, etc., must show complete documentation of expenses accompanied by supporting invoices. A brief explanation must be written and attached. These things need to be in our transportation packet so that we're not trying to follow somebody without the information in front of us. Item number 4, if the author of an item is not present at the meeting, the item will be passed on.
Madam Chairman, I think in light of we're doing these guidelines and recommendations and putting 2/3 on, we can do away with
New business.
old and new business because we really don't have an agenda item for that, and we've done that in other meetings.
We will streamline the agenda as much
Thank
as
you,
possible.
and thank you so much for your.
Okay, we also have. I also wanted to state. I want to restate the fact that administration had no one to represent them at this meeting. We have items that were placed on this agenda that should have been addressed by administration, and no one was here to address it. Councilman Lambert.
Yes, I'd like to make a recommendation that we direct this to administration and see the problems that we had with tonight's meeting and make sure that we do have someone at our next meeting to address the issues that's on the agenda. I don't know if we need this a motion, but it's just a recommendation to DPW by the Transportation Committee.
Well,
And that's all I have.
I
Make a
did.
motion on it. Go ahead.
Before Mr. Lambert's motion, I did ask the parish president to have somebody at the meetings. I did it in an email, and I got a response back. But we cannot have a meeting, a transportation meeting, unless administration has the proper people at this meeting to address the items that come from administration. You know, we're just a committee that's receiving the information and trying to make recommendations on what needs to come forth from administration, and they have to have people here. Councilman Lambert, you had a motion?
Yeah, well, I'll make that a motion so we make sure it gets to them.
And do I have a second?
I second that, and it has been same situation at a lot of the
All the committee meetings.
other committee meetings, and I would strongly encourage, because it says in our charter that directors and responsible people are supposed to be at the meeting. So, we don't have to go around looking for them.
Okay, I have a motion and a second that we send a resolution from this council to administration, that they would have the proper people here to address the proper items, that they should have someone, they should always have someone from administration that has to that can address and answer questions on agenda items that are brought to this committee that have to do with the parish.
I'd like to address that at the council meeting.
Make that statement.
Discussion through transportation. On the agenda.
Councilman Shake Snyder would like to address it at the council meeting under transportation. Can't do it this time. Can it have to be the next time?
Thanks.
Any objections to the motion?
No.
Councilman? Yes.
Can we make that recommendation to include all committees?
We can.
Yes, we just.
We can. Change that motion to include all committees.
Motion adjourned.
Second.
Motion, meeting is adjourned. Motion.